Good afternoon. It's the Jon Gaunt podcast. Let me ask you a question. Starmer's winter fuel U-turn. Is it too little, too late? Rumours swirling around Westminster today that Keir Starmer is going to do a U-turn on the most unpopular decision. He's got no choice. He had a kick in last week, didn't he, of reform. What do you reckon? Will he U-turn? But what else should he U-turn on? I want your opinion here on the Jon Gaunt Show. Is this the beginning of the end for Starmer? They've only been in power 10 months, 10 miserable months, and it looks like they're already being forced into U-turns on the Winter Fuel Allowance, which everybody hates. Wes Streeting, the health minister, says voters are very unhappy. No kidding, Wes. But now the big question, is Starmer's government actually collapsing? They're obviously infighting. People aren't happy. They're jostling for position. Is it collapsing already? And if they do these U-turns, won't they just turn into reform Lite? Is Farage the next Prime Minister? Will Keir Starmer survive, or will he get the boot? Because this ain't a reset, my friends. This is a full-blown panic. Do you agree with me? Watch this video, comment, share it, and do it quickly before Labour U-turn again. I need your views. What do you make of what's happening? You can put your views up in the comments on the side. Feel free if you want to join in today. It's an extra show. I'll be doing another show later. This is an extra one because I was so wound up about what's happening. I just wanted to get it off my chest and get it out there. If you've got a comment to make, please let me know. This is the Jon Gaunt Show. Right, let's move on, shall we? Here we go. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Is Labour already collapsing under the weight of its own cowardice? What do you reckon? Why are they so cowardly about things? Why have they put forward things that people hate? 10 months in power, and they're already now being forced into U-turns. And I think he will U-turn, but knowing Starmer, it won't be a full U-turn. It'll just be a partial U-turn. That's not what we want, is it? That's not bold leadership. That's just plain old-fashioned panic. Or am I being unfair? Can we have your views on this, please? Please put them up on the screen now. I want to know what you think. I can easily tell you what I think, which is I think he's in a terrible, terrible position. But I want to know exactly what you think about this situation as well. And we seem to have a slight technical problem. If you can hear me, just let me know in the comments, would you? Thanks very much indeed. It is the Jon Gaunt Show. I'm with you right through till about 2:30 now. You can always comment later. And if you're listening later on an audio podcast, you can still comment as well. Right, let's get on with this thing. I think it's all working now. I do apologize. A few technical hitches there, but let's get moving. So, Reform UK, Nigel Farage, thrashed them in the local elections. There's no debate about that, is there? That is the sheer reality. The mainstream parties were all given a hammering. And now Labour, the government, is scrambling to regain the initiative if they ever had it in the first place. And what's their first move? And this is the way they always do it. They leak it over the weekend, and then one of them denies it. One of them says, oh, yes, like Wes Streeting, it looks like we're going to have to do something like this. He's admitted today on the BBC, I was watching it, he basically said this policy was very, very unpopular on the doorstep. But who's going to take the bullet for it? That's the next question. Will it be the Chancellor? Lots of rumours that Starmer wants Rachel Reeves out. Will this be how she is kicked out? What about our useless Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper? But could it be worse than that for Labour? Could it actually be Keir Starmer himself? Let's face it, he's got the personality of a recycled brown bag. He's not even that interested. He's been a failure. He's the most unpopular PM in history. He's got to go, hasn't he? He's got to go. If they climb down on winter fuel allowances, what else would they climb down on? I mean, let's face it, that's one of the government's most cold-hearted and controversial policies. I don't think I've met anyone who likes it. Not one person. Not one single person. Oh, all the comments are coming through now. Thank you very much indeed. Is Starmer going to turn into a flip-flop Prime Minister? Has he got any choice? And what I want to know from you is, what else would you like him to scrap? I'll tell you one thing I want him to reinforce. Borders. I want the borders to be stronger. But will he do that? Will he? Hellers like. His idea there is give them more benefits. Give them houses now. I say put them in tents. That's caused a little bit of trouble this morning on Twitter. People saying I'm cold-hearted and I'm this and that. I'm not talking about treating them cruelly. I'm talking about army tents. And as I've said a million times before, if a tent is good enough for our boys, for our heroes, it's surely good enough for somebody who's got into our country illegally. Starmer has now got to grasp all of this. If he doesn't, he's finished. I think he probably is finished anyway. I think Thursday wrecked him. I think his arrogance has been his undoing. And then, of course, Friday morning, he said, we hear you, we hear you. And then he said, so I'm just going to go harder and faster. He thinks we like what he's doing. Sir Keir, we think you're a prat. We hate what you're doing to our country. We don't think you're a patriot. We don't think you put us first. If I've got this wrong, tell me. Right, let's go to some comments. I can hear you, says Wojtek, one of my oldest fans. Good. Hearing you loud and clear, says Daz. Don't panic, Mr. Starmer. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it is like, don't panic, Mr. Mannering, isn't it? Yeah. Denise is there. Wes Streeting and Downing Street are sticking with it on GMB. Yeah, they're saying different things. They're saying different things. Bruno Brooks says, afternoon, fella. He's a Mr. Flip-Flop. You're not the famous Bruno Brooks, are you? I once did an outside broadcast with you. Well, I was a nobody. You were the star. It was for, what was it for? Comic Relief or something. But anyway, good to have you on board if it is you. And even if it isn't, I don't care. Iran war is next and fuel prices will go up in 7 to 8 months. It's all going to go to a globalist plans. We've got to stock food and plant our own food in the future, says Fraser. Fraser, you're an half paranoid. It ain't going to be like that. Although they do seem to be getting us ready for a war, but a war with Russia. Starmer is as popular as a fart in a spacesuit, says Ronnie Hurst. I agree. Bruno says, I can't stand the man. That's if indeed he is one. Now, leave that. A tent is all some of our veterans have. Yeah, I'm not talking like Andrea Jenkins about normal tents that you go and buy in a tent shop. I'm talking about army, proper army compounds set up. We can do it. We do it when we save every country in the world. Preston journalist, it's the beginning of the end. This is on YouTube, but they've denied any changes to the winter fuel payment. Starmer won't see 2026 as the Prime Minister. Thank you for your comments. No, it's not the famous Bruno Brooks. All right, at least we know now. Thanks. But you're still welcome, my friend. I think the thing we've got to say here, they will deny it for a day or two, but this is what they do. All politicians, they have more leaks than a Max Boyce reunion concert, let me tell you. So they leak it like this, test the water, and then see what people say about it, and then they'll decide whether to go ahead. If he doesn't U-turn on the winter fuel allowance, and there's some talk about him doing it later in the year, well, I mean, it got cold last night, but we're out of the winter now. So he probably will, because again, it's the coward's way out. It's the coward's way out. And one thing we've seen with Starmer is he's arrogant, but he's also an absolute coward. So Wes Streeting, the health minister, I mean, he wants to be Prime Minister. So let's put that into the equation. He's not even responsible for pensions, Streeting, but he's suddenly admitting on record, and this is a direct quote, that voters are not happy. You couldn't make this rubbish up, could you, Wes? You took money off freezing pensioners in the middle of a cost of living crisis. What did you expect? Did you expect us to lie down and take it? 4,000 pensioners, you said by your own estimates, could die if this was taken off them. 4,000 older people. But then you attack the farmers. You've attacked the private schools. You've attacked students. Your manifesto wasn't worth the paper it was written on. You lied, cheated, and connived to get in power. But now the big question is this. Is Labour going to start dancing to Nigel Farage's tune? Do you think they could become Reform Lite? Or have they got zero credibility with us, the general public? See, one of the problems they've got, of course, is they've set themselves up as this Billy Big Shoes outfit, haven't they? We're willing to take the tough decision. There was a £24 billion black hole. They've never told us what that black hole was made up of. Half of it, I reckon, was made up of the money they gave to the doctors and the public health servants. I'm not necessarily against it, but no one's been transparent. And Starmer, look at him. He's a liar. He's a conniver. I'd even go so far as to say he's a cheat. He's certainly not told us the truth. Am I going too far? Now, don't forget, this show today is an extra one. You'll be getting another show later today. Did you see Queen Camilla, John, snub Starmer? Even she appears to hate him. Oh, she's in good company. Matt says it really doesn't matter what Labour do now, John. It's too late for Labour now. I think I'd probably agree. I don't, however they change, I don't think you, the general public, and me are going to accept it. I don't think we're ever going to accept Starmer as our leader, are we? He's finished. It's over. Give up. Their best bet is to give him the boot, although I shouldn't be giving them ideas, should I? They're three and they're... what's this? They're three and started one with Pakistan over water making. Fraser, I really find you boring. I'm sorry. I find all this, we're all going to hell in a handcart and it doesn't matter. Start collecting tins. Fraser, go off and talk to Lawrence Fox about that. I don't really want to talk about it. I find it tedious in the extreme. Starmer acts as though he's been AI programmed, John. He's got zero feelings or compassion. Yeah, when he first came to power, I said he reminded me of Buzz Lightyear with just a few catchphrases. In fact, Buzz Lightyear is more animated. If you're enjoying what I'm talking about, please feel free to press the like button. Dead simple to do. Press the like button and press the share button. Make sure you subscribe to Jon Gaunt TV. That's my YouTube channel. Then you'll get notified. Because when I feel like doing one now I'm much more confident. I'm just going to do it. Like today, I just felt like doing one on this subject. You'd get informed that I was going on. So you're not going to miss a show. Subscribe. It's free. If you really like what I'm doing, you can become a member of my YouTube channel. It costs 99p, I think, a month, or a super fan for $1.99. And if you want to, you can also make a donation as well. You can either buy me a beer or you can do one via YouTube itself. Yeah. If you fancy, there's plenty of ways to donate to keep these things going. Thank you very much indeed. John Ginger 67. I've had at least 2 texts about applying for the winter fuel payment before the end of April. Have you? Good for you. You're one of the lucky ones, Ginger. There's another idiot. He's been World Economic Forum programmed. They've given some truly terrible advice. This is what happens when you allow your cabinet to be penetrated. Look, rather than blaming the WEF, why not just blame? Why don't just blame him or the cabinet? Why make out it's some grand conspiracy? I don't think it is, my friend. I really don't. Can we try and keep in the real world? I don't really want to go to conspiracy territory. It bores the arse off me. If I've got it wrong, set up your own podcast and you can talk about it to your little tin hats content. But I don't really want to talk about it here. I'm sorry. I'm really not trying to be rude, but it's kind of pathetic. I want to talk about how we can change things here. This looks like Reform are now singing or dictating how everybody else is going to sing. Reform makes gains, Labour panics, and suddenly their policies start shifting. Well, that's not leadership. That's being frit, as Mrs. Thatcher would have said. Frightened, weak. It's not leadership. And look at it. Look at the timing. We've not even had 12 months of this lousy Labour government. 10 months. That's shorter than a bad lease on a flat. And already we're hearing whispers of resets, reshuffles, even sackings. The Chancellor, well, she's going to go, Rachel Reeves, because she's been useless at her job and told porky pies on her CV. He hasn't been strong enough to get rid of her. And I see Haig, is it Haig, Louise Haig, the one he had to sack over the mobile phones. She's back in the papers this morning because she's saying we've got to scrap those tax policies and put up income tax. Oh, there's a surprise. Tax and spend is back with Labour, although this time it's spend, then tax. That's the slight difference. New Labour now, they're going to basically spend the cash before they get it. They're going to screw every last penny like a sponge out of you. That's what's going on. Can we think the unthinkable? Although I actually really enjoy this thought. Could Starmer be forced out before the next election? He is, after all, the most unpopular Prime Minister on record. Worse than Sunak. Rishi, remember him? Singing in the rain. Worse than Truss. Even worse than Truss's lettuce. Is Starmer worse than Boris after Partygate? What's your views on that? What do you want to say about it? What's your opinion? Tell me now. Where do we go now? Caroline Crowley says it won't happen. If it did, he'd have to admit. Oh, I've lost it now. Sorry, Caroline. It won't happen. Here we are. It won't happen. If he did, he'd have to admit him and Reeves made a mistake, and he's never going to admit to making a mistake. Well, his dad made a mistake with him, didn't he, when he made him a tool maker? There we go. Let's carry on. Tony Gould. It matters not that Starmer has effed up big time. His days are numbered anyway. I've got to agree with you there, Tony. Can you be careful? Don't swear. You know when you write things on the screen. So even Tony, he wrote it like this and he thinks it won't matter. It will. Some people will be offended by that. And because I'm reading it live, none of this is pre-recorded. I could easily say the word myself, and then that would get me in trouble. And I don't want to be in trouble, right? I'm not a warrior. I just want to do my show and rebuild my career, yeah? Afternoon, John. This is definitely too late. He's under pressure now. Watching else will be changed. One thing for sure, he won't step down unless he's pushed out, because nobody else in the government is good enough. Well, that, to a large extent, Steve, I agree with you. I do understand with you. I do actually agree with you. I do agree with you. I am getting annoyed with you now, Fraser, and indeed also with the other conspiracy nut. I will literally block you both if you carry on talking about your stupid conspiracies. Go and do it somewhere else. Go and play with the little boys. Starmer, this is somebody now reacting. It's Denise reacting to what I asked. He says Starmer makes Boris look like Winston Churchill. Yeah, imagine if we had a leader like him. I was watching the movie last night with Gary Oldman. Brilliant. What did you make of all that pomp and so? I wasn't so keen. It didn't feel the same yesterday. The red arrows, that's always brilliant, isn't it, when they fly over? But the rest of it, it didn't really float my boat yesterday. I don't know why. It just didn't grab me. But you tell me what you think. So then, whilst the Tories are panicking and backpedaling, if indeed that's what they will do, which I'll be amazed now if they don't get rid of the Winter Fuel Allowance. Nigel Farage is building momentum. He hasn't even formally declared. Well, I suppose he has. He said he's going to be the Prime Minister, and he probably is going to be now. But people are already asking, is Farage now a dead cert to be the next Prime Minister? Yeah, I think so. I think he should go around now and start measuring up the curtains. Because the major parties have treated us, the public, like absolute fools, pushing policies that hurt ordinary Brits like you and me, whilst putting up illegal migrants, and they are illegal, whichever way you look at it, in hotels. Now, Starmer's answer to that, when he goes harder and faster, is to put them into houses next door to you. Jump in the housing list. Is that what you want? What I want is for them all to be put in tents. That'll put off a lot of people from coming. I want us to employ loads of people to process them quicker. We do need a Rwanda type scheme as well as a bit of a deterrent. We can't keep having 400 or 500 people arrive a day. I've had an argument on X or Twitter today where people are saying, oh, you're saying they're staying in 4-star hotels. Name one. So I named one. It's called the Delta Hotel on the Longbridge Island, just on the outskirts of Warwick. And they said, well, name others. So I said, I'm not going to do your research for you. There's hundreds of them. They're in 4- and 3-star hotels. And then some bright spark said, they're not a hotel. I said, what do you mean they're not a hotel? Well, a hotel means there's a bar service, room service, there's a spa, blah, blah, blah. All of those are closed down. It was like, oh, hold on a minute then. Let's pettifog or let's be pedantic over the word hotel. What defines a hotel? Let's put the spa back on. Let's put the swimming pool back on for them. While we're at it, why don't we give them a massage with a happy ending, you prat? This is what we're up against. People in this country who think we can spend money as it's going out of fashion. Then you look at what these people do and you look at their biographies and they all work for a council. Well, not for much longer if Farage has his way. But it's this stupidity. And then I have people saying, oh, you're just as bad as a migrant. And evidently the reason I'm as bad as a migrant is because I asked for people to buy me a coffee or to donate on YouTube to help me keep these podcasts going. I say that's not begging. That's me saying I'm producing something of what I think is good quality, and I'm asking, would you like to contribute to it so I can keep doing it? And people have free will, not like the BBC TV license. They can either decide to do it or not. But these idiots who've never run a business in their lives, who've never got off their arse and done something, probably all work for the Department of Work and Pensions for the moment, or work in schools, they don't understand that. They think it's begging. And it's as bad as being a migrant. And I'm just a fascist. And I'm just having to go at migrants because I'm a failure in life. I find it bizarre. If you don't believe me, have a look at my X feed today. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious what they're saying about me. But anyway, meanwhile, I'm not embarrassed to ask people, if you like what I do, buy me a coffee, please. www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. £5 upwards. Many people get 3 coffees, 15 quid, or you can call it a beer, whatever you want to do. I can even send you back a video thanks now. I can record you a personal thank you. I don't know why you want that, but I could. But also, you can do it on YouTube. Every penny helps. It all goes to make these better. Thank you very much indeed. So they're treating us like fools, pushing policies that hurt ordinary Brits like you and I. Illegal migrants are in hotels, doing nothing really to stop them, are they? But what about, we're still, I know we've cut it, but we're still splurging money on foreign aid, even sending money to countries that we would perhaps consider to be our enemy. Why are we doing that? Charity, it's a cliche, charity begins at home. Are you with me? And then, of course, nearly every day I drive past this, or I'm sitting, not every day, every other day, at Kenilworth and at Leamington, HS2. Why are we building that white elephant? Let's cut and run. We don't want to spend money on that. So people are looking for an alternative to vote for. And the alternative isn't the Lib Dems, although they did quite well last week. It's reform. It's Nigel Farage. Do you agree with me? Do you agree? If you don't, it's perfectly okay. Let's hear you. Oh, look at that. Steve, a fiver. Thank you, Steve. The voice of the people. Labour out, Reform and Farage in now. He just contributed a fiver. You can see his name on the screen. Thank you, Steve. Steve, how do you do that? Because I haven't got a clue. Just write up a little note saying how people can do it so they could all join in if they fancy as well. Gavin Cardy, and I thank you for it, Steve. All UK-born pensioners should receive winter fuel allowance, rich or poor. I agree, because what you're saying is they've all paid in. They certainly have. And then he goes on in his next text, immigration will bankrupt the country. You'll bankrupt yourself if you're drinking that much. Is it beer in your little picture on the side? Good luck to you. Thank you very much indeed. And now, Fraser, that's a more sensible thing to say. Every politician is usually put up a strong front, but they're always weak. I like that Scottish guy. He was awesome. Which Scottish guy? But thank you for your comments today. Ronnie Hurst, Starmer is doomed. That's got a kind of Dad's Army feel to it, hasn't it, this show? Don't panic, Captain Mannering. Don't tell him your name, Pike. Starmer's doomed. He just cannot get to grips on his situation. He lives in cloud cuckoo land. You are right, Ronnie Hurst. On YouTube, I was in London on Saturday. There are gangs of migrants sitting all over the city with this exact same signs claiming poverty. I think that's meant to be. It says poverty here. I think it means poverty. It's just a typo. Doesn't matter. It's a total racket, says Pip. He lives in Spain most of the time. It's happening in Spain, though, as well, isn't it, my friend? So where are we going then? Is Starmer going to U-turn? Just give me a yes or no to that before we finish the show. And if he does, would it convince you now to vote for him? Or has he lost you forever? What else does he need to change his mind on? Is it all too little, too late? And is reform the answer? I can't think of anybody else being the answer. The Tories are finished, aren't they? I watched the political programs at the weekend. There was no point. No one's got anything to say. Nobody. Apart from Farage and indeed apart from reform. And now they're picking on them because of the tent issue. Andrea Jenkins was useless. She should have just said, here we've got big old army camps and airfields. We'll put tents on them, military-style tents. The ones we used in Afghanistan and in Iraq. And when we go to help countries like Pakistan when there's been terrible floods, we'll put them up. Because then we can have kitchens in there and we can have proper bedding and we can look after people in the right way. But it wouldn't be a hotel with squirty soap. It's not a hotel. The moment you put asylum seekers in it, it's not a hotel. They're not illegal because they can't claim it unless they come here. And all this guff that was coming out. And then you say to them, how are we going to pay for them then? See, because that's the point. Got to the critical point now. 10,000, 11,000 since Labour came into power, or since Christmas. It's impossible. It's unsustainable. That's just one element of government. Got the school clubs. Why don't we give the money or get the money into the families and get the families and the mums and the dads to be proper parents? It's not the state's job to feed them, is it? And I'm a school's free meal guy. When my mum died, I got free meals and they were a godsend. I accept that. But my dad was flipping useless. You can't make law based on the flipping useless, which is what we do. Let me know in the comments below. Are Labour finished already? Will Nigel Farage finally break through, or has he just broken through anyway? And who do you want out of the cabinet? If we had to make a list of where to start, I'd start with Lammy. I'd probably be a close tie between Lammy and Yvette Cooper. I think Yvette Cooper is just flipping useless. Did you see her at the weekend when she suddenly started talking about the Iranians they'd arrested? And she was like, oh, yes, we've got such a tough policy. And she didn't name them, but she said they were Iranian. That was a change of policy. That's because of reform, because suddenly they're realizing people won't allow you anymore, government, to keep us in the dark like you did about Southport and Axel, the mad murderer there. People won't accept that anymore. We're not the problem. The decent, silent majority are not the problem. Do you agree with me? If you do, like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, to these videos. The more of you who do that, better, because then we get more notice from the algorithm and the audiences will grow. This one's an extra little show. I was just raring to talk to you today. That's why I miss doing the regular daily show when you're on radio. About the only good thing about it. Steve says, click the pound sign, bottom right, then click super chat. Then how much you want to send, then click send. Oh, that's if you want to make a donation. So it's called a super chat when we're live. It's called something else when we're not live. But it's on. This is only on YouTube. If you can't do that on YouTube, do the buy me a coffee. You can do that wherever you fancy, right? So all you do is click on that little pound sign. Where is it? Click the pound sign, bottom right, then click super chat, and then put in how much you want to send, then click send. Thank you very much indeed. Pip Tomlinson says, sorry, awful typing today. I think the Tories, though, will be out before Christmas. I think it's a very fair. I thought they were going to be out before last Christmas, if I'm absolutely honest with you. Oh, Kev Phillips, got to say, well done to you, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. He's donated £1.49 as a super sticker. You've done that on Apple, I think. They take a bit more off if it's Apple. But thank you, my friend. Every penny is welcome. I really appreciate it. Denise Deacon is saying, I'll never forgive Starmer unless he suddenly decides to put 100... No, that's $1 million. $1 million in my bank account. Yeah, no chance, mate. What's this one? Jackie Ward says, Lammy out first, then the rest of them can file in an orderly queue and follow immediately afterwards. Well, that's how it feels. That is just how it feels. I don't think there's one in there who I'd say that guy's an intellectual. Obviously, sometimes when you look at the opposition governments, you think, bloody hell, he's bright, she's bright. They've got well thought out policies. There isn't anyone in Labour who I sit there and think, yeah, that person's good. I mean, Miliband, surely he's got to be at the top of the list. You see, because when you go, I was thinking about this. If he does U-turn on this issue of the winter fuel allowance, there's still the green issue where we're not going to be able to heat our houses and you're not going to be able to drive a normal car and white van man's going to go bankrupt, right? What else is there? There's every policy they've put forward is not what the British public want. Am I right or am I wrong? Oh, Denise Deacon, you are a superstar. Denise, you're a superstar. She's just donated £4.99. That's on a green one, so I don't know what these different things are. It's all getting a bit crazy here. I'll have to look it up. But that's £4.99. Thank you, Denise. That is really, really welcome. You are a superstar. Here's one of my oldest listeners, Bert. If Starmer is booted out, most likely we'll have the ginger one. Oh, no, Bert. Don't even joke about it. Out of the fire and into hell. Could you imagine Angela Rayner being the Prime Minister? Oh, my God. Are you back at 6:30 tonight, says Steve. Yes, I am. Although the subject I want to do at 6:30, I've been panicking about a little bit, if I'm honest with you. I'm just not sure whether to do it. Because what I'm doing at the moment, obviously, I'm treading a little bit carefully. I don't want to get booted off YouTube. And, you've got to watch out. The censors are out there. And I don't think I say anything that's wrong anyway, but you've got to be careful. What's this say? You can choose from £1.49 up, says Kev Phillips. A bigger donation, the larger the sticker. Is that right? Is that right? All right, then. Well, we'll try and find out about that, and so that I'm more informed. All I can tell you is I'm really pleased. That means I can eat tonight. Well, I can't. You don't get it for a month. What's the next one? Do you think Starmer can spell resignation? I just wanted to write, I give up. F off. That's what I wanted. He can write whatever he wants. He can write whatever he wants, but he's got to go. The sooner we get Farage and reform in there, the better. I think that's where I'm coming from. So, I'm finished. That wasn't even an experiment. That was just me, frustrated as hell, got my computer, have Mac, will speak, and I just thought, I'm going to do one. And I thought, well, maybe no one will be listening. Nobody will be watching. That's a really good reaction rate today. Both people watching and indeed the likes. We could do a few more likes, so press the like if you can. And then, of course, you can watch it on repeat. So message to everybody who's watching it later. You got 2 to watch today. This is the first one. There'll be another one later on. You lucky people. You got an extra one on Sunday as well, didn't you? Or Saturday, eh? I'm just being too generous. I'm just being too... Do you know what the problem is? Now that I've got mojo back, my confidence, I just want to do it all the time. It's like when I used to be on the radio, when I used to say, first time caller, and then I'd say to them, now you've done it once, as I said to my wife, will you do it again? Right? I don't say that anymore. But no, now it's, now you've done it once, is there a Z of the month? But you know where I'm coming from, yeah? I just love doing this. It's what I was born to do, just to talk and argue and fall out with some people, especially lefty. Anyway, that's it. I've had enough. I'm going. Thank you very much indeed. I'll be back. Steve says, good luck to Coventry in the playoffs. See you later tonight, John. Thank you. Yeah, we've got a big task there, but I think we'll be in the final. I think we are going to get to the final. Got offered a ticket today. That was nice. But it's on my own. Don't know if I want to go and sit on my own. But anyway, Johnny no mates. I shall see you later on, 6:30, hopefully, God willing. And yeah, I've got a stutter. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Don't forget to tell them you love them. And I'll see you at 6:30 this evening. Don't forget, this is on repeat. Tell all your friends. Cheers.